I'm going to teach you about the nasal polyps. So what are the nasal polyps? Nasal polyps are non-neoplastic masses of edematous nasal or sinus mucosa. They are divided into enteroconal polyp and bilateral ethmoidal polyp. Now let me show you enteroconal polyp and bilateral ethmoidal polyp. Enteroconal polyp. An enteroconal polyp has three parts. This is the enteroconal polyp. It has three parts. One part is in guana. One part opens in the ostium of the maxillary sinus, and one is the nasal part that makes trend into the nasal cavity. So here is the enteroconal polyp. You can see this is the maxillary sinus polyp or the enteroconal polyps, and here you can see ethmoid sinus polyps. Now moving further, enteroconal polyp. This polyp arises from the mucosa of the maxillary antrum near its ostium, and it has three parts. One is the antral part, which is the maxillary part basically, which opens into the maxillary sinus. Other is guanal part, which opens in guana, and it is round and globular. And the third part is the nasal part. Now moving forward, now let us discuss its etiology. Its exact cause is unknown. Nasal allergy and sinus infection are basically the causes of the enteroconal polyps, and they're usually seen in children and young adults. Usually, enteroconal polyps, the main point is they are single and unilateral. The patient is having a polyp on one side only, and when we examine the polyp, there it has three parts. One is the antral part, which opens in the maxillary ostium. One is guanal part, which opens in guana, and one is the nasal part, which opens to the nose. Symptoms: usually patient presents with unilateral nasal obstruction, and obstruction may become bilateral when polyp grow into the opposite guana. It means that the polyp may also invade the opposite side of the nose or the opposite guana also. Voice may become thick and dull, and nasal discharge is usually mucoid or may be seen on the both sides. Now what are these are the symptoms. Now what are the signs? Already discussed the symptoms. Now what are the signs of the enterocanal polyp? Basically the enterocanal polyp usually grow up posteriorly. It may be missed on anterior rhinoscopy, or the patient is having a grayish mass covered with the nasal discharge when we see the nasal or examine the nasal cavity. It is soft and moved down with the probe, and it gives a large polyp, may protrude to the nostril. It also protrudes to the nostrils and gives a pink congested look on its exposed part. It means on its exposed part, when it comes out of the nasal cavity and it is exposed and can be seen from the exterior, it is like the pinkish mass, pinking congested look. It may be missed on the anterior rhinoscopy. We can see it on posterior rhinoscopy. It's nasopharynx part, means its guanal part we see on posterior rhinoscopy, and endoscopic examination reveals a endoguanal polyp hidden posteriorly in the nasal cavity. So what are its differential diagnosis? We can differentiate it from the blob of a mucus and hypertrophied middle turbinate, angiofibroma, other neoplasms. And what we do to diagnose it, we do X-rays of paranasal sinuses, and the X-rays of paranasal sinuses show the opacity. The X-rays, we do the non-contrast CT scans of paranasal sinuses to determine the extent of the polyp. Now moving towards this treatment. What is this treatment? The treatment of Schweitz is endoscopic sinus surgery. We can also go for polypectomy and Cadbury-Lux operation. Moving towards our next topic, that is bilateral ethmoidal polyp. What is the etiology of the bilateral ethmoidal polyp? The etiology is not well understood, but it arises in certain conditions or certain diseases such as rhinosinusitis, cystic fibrosis, etc. So here are the conditions listed: chronic rhinosinusitis, asthma, aspirin intolerance. What is Now here's the important question: what is Semter striate? Semter striate basically consists of three things: polyps, asthma, and aspirin tolerance. It is Semter striate. So the polyp arises in certain condition as ethmoidal polyp. It is usually bilateral, and the polyp, if arises in the ethmoidal region, it is usually bilateral. It arises in conditions such as chronic rhinosinusitis, asthma, cystic fibrosis, aspirin intolerance, septal striate, allergic fungal sinusitis, Catagner syndrome, and Young syndrome. What is Catagner syndrome? Catagner syndrome basically it also consists of three things: bronchiectasis, sinusitis, and ciliary dyskinesia. You can remember it by the mnemonic BSC. Bronchiectasis, sinusitis, and ciliary dyskinesia, which is Catagner syndrome, and the bilateral ethmoidal polyp arises in this situation. Young syndrome in this disease. Young syndrome, basically you can remember it with the demonic young. A young male is having azoospermia. So in case of azoospermia you and cyanopulmonary disease, you are also having a bilateral ethmoidal polyp. Now, the other syndrome that causes the ethmoidal polyp is Church-Staller syndrome. It consists of asthma, fever, eosinophilia, vasculitis, and granuloma. What is its pathogenesis? Basically, its pathogenesis, nasal mucosa in the region of the turbinates and middle meatus become edematous due to collection of extracellular fluid. And after some time, the polyp which are sessile in the beginning become pedunculated due to gravity. Pathology, in its pathology, the polyp is covered by the initial stages. It is covered by the ciliated columnar epithelium that is the normal epithelium of the nasal mucosa. But after some time, it undergo metaplastic changes and it is converted into squamous type. Supervision usually arises from the lateral wall of the nose, usually from the middle meatus, uncinate process, bulla ethmoidea, ostia of sciences, middle surfaces, and edge of middle turbinate. Nasal polyp. Nasal polyps. What are the symptoms of the nasal polyps? The symptoms are basically nasal stiffness, partial or total loss of smell, headache, and then sneezing and mass protruding from the nostril. Nasal discharge and mass protruding from the nostril. The important question is, how will you differentiate? Thing is, how will you differentiate an enterocanal polyp from the ethmoidal polyp? Basically, if we see an enterocanal polyp, it is having its appearance like pinkish appearance from its exposed surface, and if we examine it on endoscope, we see its enteral and canal parts, etc. And if we do the posterior rhinoscopy, we see its parts. But in case of ethmoidal polyp, it is bilateral presentation, and the important diagnostic point is that it is like the cluster or the grapes cluster of grapes appearance. So here it is sessile, insensitive to probing, don't bleed on touch, usually bilateral, and grape like masses it form. Nasal cavity may show prurient discharge. There is another important question, that how will you differentiate a turbinate from the polyp? So remember, a turbinate is very hard to touch. Hard to touch. Polyp is soft. Polyp is insensitive to probing, insensitive, insensitive to probing. And turbinate is sensitive. Here we can write sensitive. And turbinate may also bleed on touch if it is having inflammation, while polyp don't bleed on touch. Don't. Another now another point that you can remember is that the polyp is usually mobile while the turbinate is immobile. Hard to touch, sensitive, and immobile. So these are the points that how we differentiate the polyp from the turbinate. And how we differentiate a polyp from the cancer or carcinoma. Basically, cancers or carcinoma usually bleed on touch, while the polyp usually don't bleed on touch. Now let me show you the ethmoidal and enterocanal polyps, that how they present and how they look like. The endoscopic view of canal polyp. Here you can see a canal polyp. Here you can see a canal polyp extending into the nasopharynx. And here you can see multiple nasal polyps and how it looks like on its exposed surface. How will you diagnose the bilateral ethmoidal polyp? We do the CT scan basically, and if the patient is above 40, then the polyp is having the malignancy underneath. To rule out it, we do the CT scan. This is the main point. You have to remember it. Towards its treatment. What is its treatment? In early stages, we give antihistamines simply to control it, and then we give the short course of steroids in the people who cannot tolerate antihistamines. The contraindications to use of steroids are hypertension, peptic ulcer, diabetes, pregnancy, and TB. And in the surgical approach, we use endoscopic sinus surgery as a main. And prior to the endoscopic sinus surgery, a surgeon used to remove it by the polypectomy. Intranasal ethmoidectomy, it means that we approach the ethmoidal air cells by the intranasal approach. Extranasal ethmoidectomy, that we approach the ethmoidal air cells by the extranasal approach. And transnasal ethmoidectomy, that is indicated when the polyp is having its opening on the antrum, maxillary antrum also. So we first do the Cadbury Lux operation, and then we approach the medial wall of the laterum and done operation. The last part, that how will you differentiate enterocarnal polyp from the ethmoidal polyp? Enterocarnal polyp is usually common in children, and ethmoidal polyp is usually common in adults. Enterocarnal polyp results from infection, or ethmoidal polyp usually results from allergy, or it has multifactorial causes, as we have discussed earlier. And the enterocarnal polyp is usually salutary, means it is unilateral, it is one. And ethmoidal polyp is usually we are having multiple ethmoidal polyp, it is usually bilateral. Enterocarnal polyps, its origin is basically maxillary sinus near the ostium, and the ethmoidal polyp arises in the ethmoidal sinuses, uncinate process, middle turbinate, middle meatus, etc. And the growth, the enterocarnal polyp grow backward towards the guana. It may hang down in the soft palate also. Ethmoidal polyp may grow interiorly and may present at the nares. Size and shape: enterocarnal polyp is trilobed, is having antral part, frenal part, and nasal part, whereas ethmoidal polyp is usually small and having grape-like masses. Recurrence is uncommon in enterocarnal polyp if after polypectomy, or if it is removed after the FES. And ethmoidal polyp recurrence is common, and the treatment is endoscopic sinus surgery in both. Last part of the video, and Allah Hafiz.